Okay, let's have a look at this letter. Now, I don't usually assess written or photographed letters. I need it in text, as you've seen in my previous video, so I can add comments and make some changes. Here I cannot, so I'll just have to say them out loud instead. So let's get this a little bit bigger. I'm writing to refer Mrs. Karen, a 32-year-old married what? Married is an adjective, it's not a noun. So you need to change that. Who is worried of not conceive? Why is this infinitive verb? Who is worried at not conceiving, or who is anxious about not being able to conceive? So this needs to either be to plus infinitive or change it to a continuous verb form for 18 months, for the last 18 months. Your further assessment and evaluation will be highly appreciated. Don't use this nonsense phrase. I see it in a lot of letters. If you look at official OET letters and ones by E2, etc., nobody uses this. It's meaningless. Would be highly appreciated. I'm sure it would. Appreciated by whom? By you? By Mrs. Conway? So, you don't, and why is it highly? Why do you have to use this adverb? Don't need this. Simply, I want you to do X, Y, Z. Then you construct a narrative, tell me a story, why you want me to do X, Y, Z. And that's it. So, watch this. So, that's an adjective. A married what? Who is worried about not being able to conceive or not conceiving. Okay. Mrs. Karen, Mrs. Right, if you're going to do that, you use her last name, Mrs. Conway. Okay. Mrs. Conway works as a, we need an article, solicitor, and, who cares, has a history. So, article missing, of pregnancy termination, you mean abortion, 10 years ago. Her husband, William, 33-year-old, is accountant. Okay, why I need to know that? Does not know. Please note, they have been married for 3 years. So make that present perfect. Or they were married 3 years ago. Or simple past. Initially, on the 15th, Mrs. Conway reported that she had taken, taken, verb number 3 if you're doing past perfect. She had taken microdion, 30 for 5 years, but she stopped them since May 2014. What? Why would she come and say that? So, would she come and say, oh, doctor, I'm having trouble having a child? Isn't that what she would say first? Not, oh, doctor, I stopped taking these pills in May 2014. What's the presenting complaint? What did she say? So, a visit usually has 3 components. What the patient presented with, what they said, what you found, what you did. Okay? The patient comes and says, oh, doctor, I have a pain and also blah, blah, blah. You examine it, you find something, and you take some action. Okay? Anyway, she had regular cycle, problem of sexual transmitted diseases. Okay. But you still haven't told me what she actually came for. On examination, her BMI was 28 and vital signs were normal. Additionally, cervical smear. A cervical smear, because you can count it, it's an article, was taken. Hormone levels were requested. What? How can you request hormone levels? You mean hormone level test was requested? The joint appointment to see William was made. Never to mention, eh? What does that mean? Never to mention what? That Karen was anxious because her husband was not revealed, eh? Because her husband did not know, or she had not revealed about her termination history or her abortion. Today, the joint appointment with Karen and William was held. Or why is that passive? Why not just say Karen and Mr. and Mrs. Conway presented? Karen's investigation. She's a detective? She's a private investigator? You mean your examination of her showed ovulating woman? What does that mean? And her smear was negative? I know she's a woman, but what does that mean? Showed ovulating woman? Well, of course, she's a woman. What does that mean? I've got no idea. Although, and we don't need a comma, William thought they had not been. They had. Why is that present perfect continuous? Shouldn't it be past? Although William thought they had not been trying long enough, Karen insisted to be referred to an infertility specialist. In view of the above, you've spelt that wrong. I suggest that William should do he should do a semen analysis himself. What? So he's going to have a wank into a glass and analyse his own sperm? I don't think so. That William should have his semen, or should have a semen analysis. And reassurance about not to So, what are you suggesting? I suggest that William should have a semen analysis. Okay, that's one thing. And reassurance about not to conceive. So who are you reassuring? Why is this a noun? Reassurance what? Was given, or you reassured them? Why is that a noun? Why isn't it a verb form? And who is being reassured? By whom? That's not clear. About not to conceive in 2 years are usual. So it's not unusual for conception to take more than 2 years. Okay. Accordingly, intercourse timing advice was given. Didn't you do anything? Why is it passive? If you perform some action, you can say so. I discussed it with them. I recommended that William should have a semen analysis, and I advised them on the timing of intercourse, etc. It should be queries, eh? It. What is this? It. If. I don't know. Is that an it or an if? If should be queries. If you have any queries, please don't hesitate to contact me. So, main thing here is grammar. We've got some missing articles. Some of the verb forms are not so good. Some of the sentence structure needs a bit of work. Some of the logic doesn't quite work. Some of the sentences need to be rephrased. So, not too bad, but it's going to need a bit of work to secure you a B, I think. Okay. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, you can post them in the group. Okay.